Welcome back to my video, and as you can tell, it's different. You can see me right now, and you are going to see in this video how I did this mask. I built and designed the mask all on my own, and that's basically all you will see in this video. So have fun, I guess. Let's start. So at first what I did is design a concept sketch. I did this in my sketchbook and I didn't record it since I didn't know if it would be good or not, but I liked the design and I started putting a foil on the, I think it's called foil, right? Tin foil on the styrofoam head, but because it's styrofoam and foam clay, I'm using foam clay for this project. It's sticking to styrofoam. I put this clean film. It's called clean film. I put clean film on it so you know it isn't connected to the styrofoam head. I called the styrofoam head Kevin, by the way. Kevin, my man. So the first thing I gotta tell, this was a hell lot of work. It took a long ass time to dry. I'm using foam clay because it's really lightweight, and if you build a mask, you should use foam clay, because if you just use regular modeling clay, it's just gonna be too heavy. So first I put a layer down. Looking back on it, I don't have any experience with any type of foam clay. This is my first time using foam clay. And you can tell because I didn't put a tin foil, I didn't put like a layer underneath it, so it's not entirely out of foam clay, so it can dry faster, but I didn't do that, so that's why it took like 2 days or something. You can see that I'm watching a Minecraft video, just ignore that, I didn't know it was in the shot of my video. If you want to watch it though, it's Skies 2 especially. I'm in the Minecraft phase right now, since playing Minecraft. I did this when I was a child and now I'm back to it, and there's so much new stuff. Like I didn't even have something like a fox, I didn't have that stuff in back old Minecraft. And for this video I'm gonna try out something new. I'm gonna put subtitles to this video, because looking at my analytics, I've seen some people actually use like the automated translation from YouTube. So I'm gonna do everyone a favor and put subtitles to this, especially because I usually slur my words and mumble a bit because I'm not used to talking. I hope it works. I hope I get it to work. You can see that I'm just putting a first layer, and I must say, it's relatively hard to get a smooth surface with foam clay. It's like you press it and there's a dent. And you can see right now I'm putting my ruler on it to kind of get a flat surface. But in the end I'm gonna sand it. I'm not gonna record the sanding, but I sanded it in the end. And it helps a lot. So my design, right? I didn't think anything specific of it. I just wanted a cool looking mask, and I was just like, yeah, it needs to look cool but also not cringe. So I did that, and as you can see in the beginning it kinda looks cringe anyway, so no matter what you do, it's always gonna be cringe. Yeah, I've used a brush to kind of get some water on there to make it more smooth, but it didn't work. I was kind of scared to put too much water on it, so it would take longer to dry, so I didn't do that. I just kept adding more foam clay, and you see the carved out eyes. I think one of the eyes is smaller than the other one. I didn't even notice that. Like, I didn't even know that having symmetry in a mask is so difficult to achieve. You're gonna see this later in the video as well. As you may have realized, I'm talking too much again. I need to slow down, but every time I start recording I'm like in a hectic. I don't know the English word for it, I'm sorry. Here I'm just trying to flat it out, make a clean line. And I must tell you, if you ever want to do a foam clay mask, you need to consider that when foam clay dries, it shrinks a little bit. It shrinks. So my mask is actually a little bit smaller than when I started. And I think I also didn't make it big enough in the first place. So just keep in mind, just make it a tiny bit, not too much, just tiny bit bigger than what you usually would do. Because my mask is basically too small for my head. Yeah, I'm just keeping it on my shelf anyways. Now you're probably asking me, Damien, why did you make a mask anyways in the first place? And I must tell you, I don't know. I was like, I wanna record intros because other art YouTubers are recording intros, but I will not in a million years show my face on here. So I was like, I need a mask. But then I was like, I could buy a mask, but I could also make a mask, make a design for my channel. And I should have just bought a mask, they look way cooler honestly. Yeah, there I just outlined the... Like you can see my sketch. It's not a sketch, it's line art. And I'm just trying to replicate that right now. By the way, don't use any techniques that I'm using because like I said, I never worked with foam clay before. And with normal clay I only worked a handful of times for some school projects. But I'm not good at that. So originally, like I already said, I wanted to make a channel face basically, because I won't show my face anywhere. I'm not comfortable with that, because I'm an ugly motherfucker, right? So I tried to make a mask. In the end I really think I should have just bought a mask, but the process was fun. The drying time was not fun though. On the internet it says it takes 24 hours to dry. It's like air dry, you cannot bake it. But since I used so much clay on one surface area, it took way longer to dry, and I put it in front of a fan and it still took a long ass time. And these little things, I had so much trouble with placing it in the same exact spot to make it look symmetrical. Jesus Christ. I removed it and replaced it. By the way, foam clay can stick to itself when you put a little bit of water on it. That's why I'm doing that all the time. Now you can see me trying to make this little... I don't even know what it is. I designed it, but I don't know what it is. It's maybe supposed to be teeth. It's just supposed to be cool. It doesn't have a purpose. Like if I made it into a character, it didn't have a purpose. I just was like, yeah, that would look cool. Oh, I could make teeth on top of that. So it looks like, I don't know, spider, vampire, I don't know. I didn't think anything of it when I first designed this. Here I'm just checking if it actually fits, and then I'm realizing that's way too thick, so I'm cutting it down with my scissors. And then I made another piece of camera. I actually made it on camera, but if I would show the whole process, this video would be like an hour long or something. Here you can see the dried mask. Why are there holes inside my mask, you may ask? Lol, that rhymed. I poked holes in it so it dries faster, because like I said, I used too much clay at once. Here I'm trying to outline the eyes with my acrylic paint marker, but since this is a really cheap paint marker, it didn't go on foam really well, so I'm gonna go with my gouache paints. I'm actually going to paint the whole mask with my gouache paints. Now you're probably going to think, Damien, gouache paints are water paints, like watercolors. They are gonna be reactivated with watercolors, and yes, I am stupid. What you just saw right now, like the drawing I did, I was really bored in school, so I was like, I'm gonna design a character with this mask, and it basically turned out as a spider sauna, and now I'm officially cringe. But come on, if you watch Across the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse, you cannot deny that it was a really great movie. I advise you to watch it if you haven't already. The reason why I use gouache paints, even though that's relatively stupid because I cannot put varnish on it, and I also didn't use a primer on top of the mask, is because I simply hate acrylic paints. I don't have any acrylic paints, I only have one white tube of acrylic paint. And I recently, literally 2 days ago, I bought a black acrylic paint tube. I haven't opened it though. I haven't opened it yet though. So yeah, I'm just lazy. I don't want to buy paints for one paint project. I'm just using gouache paints, and I'm never going to put water on top of this mask, so it should be fine. But if you decide to do this, if you decide to work with foam clay, use acrylic paints or like airbrush. I think airbrush works as well, but I don't have fancy shit like that. Here I'm using a watered down brown paint to make it go into the seams I made. I'm gonna cover it up later anyways. And here I'm off focus, like on the side of the camera, so I just cut it down so you don't have to watch like half of the painting process of being off camera. Like the problem with my is it called tripod, where you put your phone on, is that if I do this, it has to stand directly in front, and then I cannot properly paint because it stands in front of my face. You know, so I can't. That's why it's always standing at the side or something. I'm still not completely sure how to position these things to have a good like composition for the video, but like I don't know. Oh, by the way, I'm also not good at designing things. Like this mask was the first draft I made, and I was like, yep, I like it, I'm gonna make it. I didn't think twice about making something else, I just was like, yep. Here you can also see that I already sanded the mask. I sanded it before I started to paint it. And with the foam clay, I was like really unsure when it would dry. I was like really unsure if it's already dry or not, because it's foam. It is soft regardless what you do. But it's firm. But I've heard people call it's like wok. It's like a wok. It's not. It's still soft, it's foam. Of course it's going to be soft. So just keep that in mind if you're ever working with foam clay. By the way, my foam clay, I got it from Amazon. I'm gonna put it into the description. So if you wanna buy it as well, it's really cheap. It's like 15 bucks. 15 euros for me, I'm in Germany. Another thing about this design. At first I wanted the entire mask to be black, and these little lines I have were supposed to be white. so I would have a black and white mask. But I didn't do that because I bought white foam clay. And I didn't have black paint at that point. I only had black gouache paint. I didn't want to coat the whole entire mask in black gouache paint. Here you can see me trying to make it painted really carefully, these little spikes. Like I originally didn't have any spikes on the eyes, but since I made it on the bottom half of the mask, it was like the top looks a little empty, so I'm just putting spikes in there because cool, I guess. By the way, on the ground is some German newspapers because I didn't want to mess up my floor, since I can't like craft on top of the table when I'm doing this, because I like to have the thing I'm painting really close to my face, so I'm actually not messing up any lines or something. So just ignore the German newspaper, it's really old. It's almost over, so I'm gonna ask this question. Would you like me to do another craft video like this? Like, I still have a lot of foam clay left over. I have like more than half left over from the entire bag. And I can craft something else. Maybe you can also paint Kevin if you want to. Guy needs a haircut. Kevin is the style from Head, if you already forgot about it. Like me, I cannot remember anything. So let me know if you like this, and if you want me to do another craft video, then I will maybe consider it. But the next video is already in plan. Like, I found another pair of cheap markers, and I'm gonna record that video for that as well. Here's the end result of the mask. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. I just put some black fabric that I had left over on the back, and some elastic band to have a headband, and the 0.3 is just a cut of other paper. See you in the next one.